All right, so make sure we got. All right, cool. So just a quick run through, right? I'm gonna do a few things. So we on earnings calendar right now on Business Insider. We can start from the top. You see Walt Disney here. All right, they got their earnings call next Thursday. Okay, so we could pull up the Walt Disney and look at it. You know, see the news that they have here a day ago. Bad news a day ago. I don't really want to see no bad news if I think that the price is gonna go up. I need a short bet, okay? So I'm looking to see if there's anything that could take me away from thinking that the price will rise. You see some bad news here that might not make a huge difference, but it is relevant if it's here, okay? High rating. You see all the different shareholders here. That stuff matters. And analyst opinions. You see the analyst opinions. So you can look at the analyst opinions and they'll tell you, where they think the price should be. So you got everything in here from 175 to 200. You see it's at 176 right now, and today it's taking a little dip. So when you see this dip, it might be a good entry point somewhere in here if you think the price is gonna go up. You look at the week is up, the month is up and down, but at this point right here, January 27th, it started to bounce back. So it reached its floor, it reached its support, and ever since then it's been on the uptrend. If I pull it up on the chart, you can see that same thing. So January 27th was a dip, and now it's been going all the way back up since then. Same thing on the daily. The daily will tell you where its peak was at um, December 29th for obvious reasons. There's a lot of stuff going on here, holidays, new releases on their platform. Their platform's doing well. Is all this stuff is good. So remember, the earnings call is based on the previous 3 months. So you got December, you got November, all right, you got October, and then you got September. All right, so from September all the way up until now, you see it took a little dip, and then when it got around October 20th, it took off. So all this stuff right here is good news for the earnings coming up here. All right, so you want to go back into go to Yahoo, type in the Disney, and just look at we're looking at the financials right now. So quarterly income statement is showing you what that profit is looking like compared to the previous. All right, so that's huge right there. Annual, you see that it's doing better than it did last year. You know what I'm saying? Better than it did um, last year. So this is up until now. This isn't obviously the year isn't done, and it's not the ninth. So this is where we at. So it's gonna be probably double when it's all said and done. You see all the previous years. All right, so it's already doing better as a whole. Um, then you can look at historical data, and you can see monthly. Let's do 3 months historical prices. You can look at the last 3 months and see the historical prices. Like I told you, that was the peak right there. If you think it's gonna go up, then I wouldn't bet on it going past this point. It could possibly go past this point, but I would, if I had a price target, I would have my target somewhere near or around this price if I think it's gonna go up. All right. And then I would just search the internet to see if there's any other news about this company. Um, Look at the summary, scroll down. Okay, boom. Subscriber growth is expanding. Okay, read that article. Better buy. They're comparing these two. Read that article. Let's see what else. Uh, Streaming TV, Roku. Okay, obviously, all this stuff is relative to Disney. Is Disney stock a buy right now ahead of weaker earnings? This is important. Read this article. All right. So this article will tell you a lot about how the insiders feel about the Disney stock and whether you should buy it before earnings or not. And they also talk about a few other ones. All right. So all I see is growth in this company. I don't see nothing bad other than this news article here. But then you can read this article and see what it is. It might not be that big of a deal. So this might be a definite buy, but it's expensive. You might not want to put that much at risk. If we look at the options chain, open up the options chain. If you want to buy a call, obviously we're looking at trying to get, something that's a little bit far out. But the farther you go out, the more expensive it's going to be. So you have to take a judge on how much money you want to spend. how much money you want to put at risk. All right. Obviously, we want to get something. Since the earnings call is February 11th, and this one is expiring on the 12th, so you gotta think about it from the buyer's perspective. You're gonna have the contract. You're gonna sell it to somebody else. So if I'm selling it to somebody else, it might not be worth nothing if it expires the day after earnings. So you might want to think about getting something a week after that. You know what I'm saying, or further out. So let's say if we look at this one, you see the options chain. There's a lot of contracts out. In the money call right here, obviously we look at the delta, the gamma, the theta's great, vega. This is good. All this stuff is good. You want to look at it, see what the price is talking about. I don't know why this thing be tripping. $705. You go to the options profit calculator. All right, this is just part of my process. I'm not, I'm rushing through this. I would usually take my time a little bit, but I just want to show y'all, it's part of the process. So we said February 19th. What was that? That one was 175, 705, 175. Again, you might not find the exact price in here, but if you, get a range, then you can see what the calculation is. So boom, there go the calculation right here. So what was the price target that we said? The insiders are telling you that their price targets, analyst opinion, some people say 200, anywhere between 175 to 200, 205. The chart will tell you that the last peak was at 181. So if I pull up the option profit calculator, 181 will give me around 200. This is my range right here. So you're looking for a 2% gain on this one. Anything above that is a bonus. So once you get to the 2% range, and this is the expiration date, so you got to be aware of this. So expiration date is right here. So $95 is what you're looking at if you get a 2% gain by that time. But, we can go back and look at the implied volatility. There's not nothing crazy now, because the expires on the 19th. But let's look at February 12th. The implied volatility is up higher. You know what I'm saying? So, that plays a factor too. So just keep in mind that this is if basically what I'm saying is if you get a 2% gain and you end up at $95, you have to make a decision at that point. How is it going? If you pull it up in Robinhood and it looks like, that day is moving up, then I might not want to sell until after I hear what happens with earnings. You know what I'm saying? They might update this and say, they might predict something different. But that right there is pretty much a breakdown on what I'm looking at, okay? I'm gonna look at this chart and I'm gonna see, where my support is at. My support is here. So then when we start talking about risk management and you start plotting this stuff out, you have to tell yourself how much you're willing to lose. The options profit calculator will help you gauge that. So this is where you're at. If it start going against you, you gotta let yourself know, okay, boom. If I lose 1.2%, I'm gonna take my losses and get out of there. You feel me? Because you put in 715. So that don't mean that you can wait until it goes down to 715. You can set a little stop loss in your mind and say, okay, if price goes to 175, I'm selling that and I'm moving on to the next one. All right. And then the same thing as your profit target. My profit target is 180, 181. If I see $95 gain, then I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna move on. Remember, the longer you hold it, time decay starts ticking in. You know what I'm saying? So all that stuff is something that you need to consider when you looking at whether you want to purchase an option contract or not. Do your research. Go in here, try to find the news, try to see what else is out there. Look at what the professionals are saying, what the write-ups are looking like. Look at the historical data. Look at the financials. Look at Robinhood, see if they have any predictions, any news in here that popped up. All right. Look at where it's at. And then when we start getting into these charts, then you can take it to the next level and start doing some analysis. And I'll show you, how I get my targets and all that type of stuff. All right.